Emerson gonna clear Mayato. Not gonna go low. He's gonna try and fake the 48. Travato using the inside lane. Mayato now up half a groove. The second position looks for his first race win. Oh, hard contact. Mayato up in the air, up on the hood, on top of the Geico machine. All over his back bumper, and has to be very tactical with his moves. Oh, and hard under braking. Travato nearly locked it up there. St. Bear's big slide out of turn number 1. Comes Chris Samar, Kevin Cornelius. They're going to make a charge in the third lane. Is it too little, too late? Are they going to have the run out of turn number 4? Mark Emerson down low. They're all going to wreck. Dennis Fairclough in the lead right now. Here comes Nick Gardner. Hello and welcome to the Below the Double Yellow Cup Series live tonight from Charlotte Motor Speedway for the BTDY Marathon 300. This race is going to be 300 miles, the longest one on the schedule, and it's also the last race of the regular season with drivers trying to find their way into the top 12 in the standings. It's going to be an intense one here with multiple drivers going to be able to make their way in on points. And some drivers going to try and lock themselves in with a race victory here this evening. So 200 laps around this famed mile-and-a-half racetrack here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Stage break will be lap 75. And this is the final race of the regular season. Race 13 out of 20 in total. Taking a look at Seth Hatchell, who currently sits 7th quickest on the practice times. Ryan Gemmel, a driver who needs a good run, currently quickest of the drivers who have taken a time here in practice. Reggie Ortega, also another driver currently sitting up inside the top 12 in the standings. He is second quick. Chris Samard, who's right above the cut line, third quick. And then it's the Pelican brothers, 4th and 5th. Anthony Pelican earning his victory last week at North Wilkesboro. A very exciting finish in that one between himself, Jeremy Miller, and Keith Mayato. It got pretty crazy there in a green-white checkered scenario. And let's take a look at the points as they enter into tonight's race. So in the top 20 in the standings, you can see 7 drivers locked in by nature of victories. Reggie Ortega very close to locking himself in on points. Then Angelo Ronas, Bradley Wilson, Jeremiah Vincent, and Chris Samard rounding out the top 12 entering tonight's race. They are in contention to lock themselves in on points, as well as Alex Pelican, Ryan Gemmel, and Michael Newman, all able to make it in on points. Everyone else going to require a victory here. Dallas Sullivan, Timmy Emanuele, Garrett Wolfenbarger, Safe Ferris, Lane Sulfridge. Then outside the top 20, Alan Dice, Dennis Fairclough, Brett Sommers, and many, many more going to try and find their way in with a race victory. That's the only way they can advance. 2 drivers eliminated there at the bottom of the standings. You see Brandon Pearl and Eric Hutton. Based on their lack of starts this season, they are not eligible to make it in, even if they won the race tonight. Qualifying getting underway. Reggie Ortega out on the racetrack. Reggie with a top 3 finish last week, his first of the season. Pull up the qualifying ticker to see how guys line up for tonight's race. Again, a long one here. It's going to be about patience. It's going to be about conserving the tires. And it's about making your way to the front, being there at the end of the race. Can't win it on lap number 1. Can't win it on lap 2 or lap 199 either. You've got to get to that checkered flag. We do want to thank you for tuning in here tonight. Should be a fun one. All the playoff implications right there around the cut line. It's going to be intense for quite a few drivers. Keith Mayato currently quickest on the qualifying standings, just 2 1,000ths faster than his teammate Chris Simard. Chris, the last car in on points at the moment, as Keith cuts through the front stretch there and actually did not improve his time. I don't believe that counts if you go off track like that, but maybe just got a little bit loose. But let's take a look here at some drivers trying to get their lap times in. Ryan Gemmel, the number 6 machine, who just missed out on the Xfinity Series playoffs by nature of a tie. He lost the tiebreaker, just barely eliminated after some bad luck last night. His wheel actually failed on him, and he's currently using the wheel from Camden Murphy, who you might recognize that name, driver who's running the Craftsman Trucks, or the Camping World Truck Series, not Craftsman. But Ryan Hart in the wall right there. He's going to have to go back out there and try and get a better lap in. A little too early on the throttle out of turn number 4. Right now, Alec Martinez fastest. He is a race winner this season. He missed the first few races, but is locked into the playoffs. Jeremy Miller, who finished runner-up last week, also a race winner and locked in. Zach Carr puts his lap time in, currently 5th quick. A 4-time race winner this season. Looked like he was just going to win every single race at one point, but has not found victory lane in at least a few weeks. So looking to get a good starting spot here tonight and try and settle in and be there at the end. Let's see where he places himself right here in lap 2. Not going to be any faster, as Alec Martinez didn't even attempt a second lap. Looks like Brett Sommers still out here, the number 7 Boston Web Marketing machine. He'll cut across the start-finish line a 30.427. Not going to be able to improve. He is 15th out of 20. Gonna look at some others. Jeremiah Vincent, a driver just up above the cut line as well. 10 points to the good entering tonight's race. He put in a slow lap for lap number 1, over 1.5 seconds off the pace. He'll pick that up here on lap number 2. We'll see what he can do here in 3 and 4. Right down by that blue and white stripe around the bottom of the racetrack. Here he comes towards the start-finish line. Really tight there to that apex at 30.802. Still going to be a very slow lap, so he is currently 22nd out of 22 drivers that have taken a time. And 8 drivers still yet to put a time in, so we should have right around 30 in the field tonight. Take a look at the weather. 77 degree air temp, 80 degree track temp. We should have a transition to night conditions. So the track will cool off a bit, and there will be more grip available to these guys. But it looks like the setup could be pretty tight in tonight's race, as they are headed to drivers' meeting. Alec Martinez on provisional pole. We'll have to see if anybody else tries to put a lap time in, but we're going to go to a quick commercial break. Be right back with your starting grid.
The most challenging issue veterans face is reintegrating back into civilian life. This is increasingly hard with combat veterans that have witnessed the brutal environments of war. The issues they face include the sense of not having a purpose, the lack of camaraderie, and no longer being on a team. Adrenaline Therapy's mission is to bring veterans out of their element and introduce them to the fun and relaxation of the off-road. This is a way to help make these veterans feel a part of something again. This is what we call adrenaline therapy. In doing so, our goal is to help eliminate the 22-a-day epidemic of veteran suicide. Learn more by visiting outlawdesertracing.com/adrenaline therapy.
Back at the racetrack now on our starting grid, Alec Martinez, your pole sitter here tonight from Charlotte Motor Speedway. He'll be rolling off from the front row. Joined on his outside, it will be Ryan Gemmel, the number 6 machine, taking from that second spot. Rolling off from third tonight, Alex Pelican, the number 21 machine, will be rolling off from third spot. And fourth will be Keith Mayato, race winner 2 times this season. The number 36 car. Rolling off from the 5th spot, Chris Simard looking for his first win of the season. Zach Carr rolling off from 6th to his outside, 4-time winner, and looks like he may lock up the regular season championship by starting here tonight. Rolling off 7th, Anthony Pelican, race winner from last week, and Dennis Faircloth going to be starting to his outside in the 8th position, looking to lock his way in on a victory here tonight. Jeremy Miller starting in 9th, race winner from week 1. Seth Hatchell, a winner from a couple weeks ago, going to be starting in the 10th position. Rolling off 11th, Reggie Ortega, a podium finisher last week, and starting to his outside, going to be Cody Adkins in the 12th position. Starting in 13th, Angelo Ronas. Starting in 14th, Brandon Pearl. Starting 15th, Eric Lambert. Starting 16th, AJ Stravato, also a 2-time winner this season. Brett Sommer is going to be rolling off from 17th. Bradley Wilson, currently above the cut line, going to be starting from 18th here tonight. Joshua Abbey starting from 19th, and to his outside, rounding out the top 20, Garrett Wolfenbarger. 21st, Timmy Emanuele looking to climb into the top 12 with a victory tonight. currently sits outside of eligibility to make it in on points. Dennis Steele rolls off 22nd. 23rd is Jeremiah Vincent. 24th, Josiah Vincent making his return after a few weeks off. 25th, Dallas Sullivan. 26th, Nick Gardner. 27th, Alan Dice. 28th, Michael Newman. 29th, Zach Smith. And Nick Starling, good to see him back here. He'll be rolling off from the 30th position with Robert Gilmore, 31st in tonight's race. 31 drivers here from Charlotte Motor Speedway. Going to be Alec Martinez getting us rolling here tonight. Should be a good one. As always, cheer on your favorite driver. Let us know you're out there having a great time. And I want to thank you so much for joining us here tonight. Drivers to watch right around that cut line. It's going to be Chris Samar, Jeremiah Vincent, Ryan Gemmel, Alex Pelican, Michael Newman, all drivers that could work their way into the top 12. Also Bradley Wilson. He's got about a 16-point gap to Alex Pelican, who's below the cut line. Eye on all of those drivers. They're racing to fight their way in on points. And it's going to be exciting. It should come down to the wire. This pace car going to make a hard left on the pit road. We're about to get underway for the Below the Double Yellow Marathon 300. Green flag in the air. And we are off here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. For the race lead, Ryan Gemmel going to try and get a precious bonus point. He will lead lap number 1 to the outside of Alec Martinez. Alec won the Xfinity race last night. And he's looking to go 2 for 2 here this evening. Really close racing right now for the lead, but teammates pushing on the outside. Mayato trying to get Gemmel out in front. He'll do so as they go down into turn number 3. And Gemmel going to try and cut off the 18 here. Throw that dirty air on the nose of the 18. And he will hang on to the race lead for lap number 2. Now Mayato looks low. He's going to stay in line. His battle for 4th is going to be Zach Carr, and that is Alex Pelican. Alex entering the race 9 points below the cut line. Every point is going to count here. And right behind him, Chris Samard, the driver who's 9 points above the cut line. So Chris going to try and keep that 21 as close in his sights as he can possibly do. The Dennis Faircloth, who's had mixed results this season, but some improved performance definitely over the last few weeks. He's running up here right now inside the top 10. Here comes Reggie Ortega, trying to challenge him down low, side by side. A lot of racing action here in the first 5 laps. Reggie pulls a little side draft on the 80 right there. That'll slow up Dennis, who backs off, and here comes Cody Adkins looking to the inside. Very intense racing, but up in the front, it's a battle for the lead. Ryan Gemmel on the outside. Here comes Alec Martinez. He's going to try and pull a little side draft on the number 6 V-Speed machine. Gemmel still with the nose out front. He continues to lead. And now Zach Carr is closed up. He's on the inside lane. Side by side for the front spot. Martinez has the edge through 1 and 2, but drag race down the backstretch. Gemmel able to pull him just a little bit. He still has his teammate in Mayato behind him, and Alec going to try and send it in deep into the corner. He has to back off, caught the apron a little bit. He'll jump back to the high side now, and here comes Mayato with a great run. Is he going to try and get to the outside? Can't get there. Here comes Zach Carr, though, going to challenge down low for second. And it's going to get increasingly difficult lap after lap to make that pass down low. As these tires wear off and you get tighter and tighter, the dirty air starts to play more of an effect. Riding on board with Alex Pelican. Taking a look up here at these top 5 drivers, challenging Keith Mayato right now. Oh, and we've got a car sliding up the racetrack. That's Anthony Pelican, last week's winner. Able to hang on to it. Big save right there from the 99. And they are getting all choked up here on the backstretch. Let's go back and take a look here at what happened. It might have been contact. Reggie Ortega went in really aggressively, gets into Anthony. Does a little Tokyo drift right there, keeps it out of the wall. Great job by everyone to avoid that. They were 4 wide there for a second. And AJ Stravato, he saw his opportunity to gain a few spots, and now he rides up inside the top 15 after starting farther back. Up at the front, though, Gemmel still able to hold off Alec Martinez. Alec is known for saving his stuff in the early portions of a run, but 75 laps here on this stint. They have 5 additional sets of tires. They will probably take a set during a pit stop, which will definitely happen here in stage 1. You may have some opportunity to play with an extra set of tires at some point in this race, and they will make a difference. Already about 8/10 off of the fast times of the night. 10 laps into the race. Jeremy Miller, he's running up there by the outside wall. Alex Pelican to his inside. Samard has gotten around the 21. Now Reggie Ortega trying to get in there. He got into the 99 a little bit earlier, but is able to collect his race car and continue on, and he's moved up now to the 9th position, but battling farther back behind Anthony Pelican. That's Garrett Wolfenbarger. AJ Stravato, Angelo Ronis now works to the inside. They're going to go by the 32. It looks like battle for the race lead once again. Maybe Gemmel got the wall. He's really slow here on the front stretch. It's going to get passed up by Alec Martinez. What happened here? Just lifted a little bit. Almost got run over by Martinez. And now the battle for the race lead. The 18 and the 27 as Gemmel is faded just a bit. He's going to get passed up by Mayato. And now Gemmel also being challenged by his teammate Seth Hatchell. Maybe burned his stuff up out in front there. Those first few laps. Here comes Jeremy Miller trying to poke his nose in the middle there. And he's now going to move to the inside of Gemmel. Not sure what is up with the 6 car. Might be having some other issue. But he is definitely dropping. Now Chris Samard rides 8th. Looks to the inside. He's going to get passed back by the 21 of Alex Pelican. So that playoff battle still pretty tight between these two. As you've got the top 10 that have broken away. AJ Stravato now moves to 11th. Leading this second group of cars. Cody Adkins looked like he was going to take it 3 wide with Brandon Pearl and Angelo Ronis. Angelo dives it in deep there in turn 3, trying to get back to the quarter panel of the 81. Can't quite do it there through 3 and 4. And Cody, who has not had the season that he would like, trying to get a good result here in the regular season, maybe even a victory. We've seen him run well at some of these 1.5 miles over the last season or so. Eric Lambert throws a block right there on Joshua Abbey. That was too close for comfort right there. He's going to make a move now to the inside of Brett Sommers. And Eric, who had a pretty good run going the Xfinity Series race at Talladega last week. Had a really good race going last night. He had some steering wheel issues that took him out of that one, but looks like everything's all right for now. While at the front, Zach Carr has taken the lead away from Alec Martinez, and Alec now back to 3rd. It's a top 3 single file. Seth Hatchell, Jeremy Miller side by side for 4th. Behind them, Ryan Gemmel, who led the opening 10 laps. And things are definitely calming down. You can see drivers finding their rhythm, finding a line that they're comfortable with. Look at that. Hatchell gets back in the throttle quickly there. He's going to pull right back alongside Jeremy Miller. And he is going to try and pull his teammate through. That is Ryan Gemmel. Getting a pretty good run down low, but Jeremy working all the way up by the wall. He'll have momentum on the exit of the corner. Question is, can the 6 car pull him back? Jeremy going to try and dive down to the inside. Almost made the move on Hatchell. Couldn't get there, though. Gemmel will stay in line right now for 6th. Bradley Wilson up here in 7th, doing exactly what he has to do. Still, the top 10 have pulled away, but AJ Stravato starting to close in and bringing Anthony Pelican and Cody Adkins along with him. Reggie Ortega through the block there, and Chris Samard. Chris backs off. And Reggie continuing to make up spots here and there. He's going to try and pass up Alex Pelican in turn 1. Should be able to do so, but Alex hard in the throttle. Get right back to his quarter panel. They'll be side by side down the backstretch. And Alex with a bit of drafting help from the cars in front. He'll take the spot back. Now Reggie, really good down there in that inside lane. He's going to pull back out of turn number 4, still side by side. Now here is AJ Stravato. It says, I want to join the party. Up from 16th now into the top 10. He gets by Chris Samard. So definitely a driver on the move. Another one on the move, though, that is Bradley Wilson. He started 18th. He is up to 7th position already in this race. Just got to be careful not to use your stuff up too quickly, but already about a third of the way through the stage. Doing what he needs to do to get his car in position, get up here and battle with these leaders. As Zach Carr, 4-time winner this season, he's found his spot at the front of the field, now pulling away just a bit over Keith Maotto, 4/10 as they work through 1 and 2. Side by side once again for 4th position. That is going to be Seth Hatchell. Jeremy Miller, who's been working the high side, able to get that position back. Now he's going to look to attack the 18 machine. He goes into that corner with every intent to take the high side. You can dive it in a bit deeper, keep it in the throttle a little bit longer, but that did not work for him that time. Actually lost ground to Alec Martinez, who's going to try and take the line away this time, and Jeremy will work the low lane. A single file, 1st through 7th. AJ Stravato up to 8th. Reggie Ortega now falls to 9th. Alex Pelican in 10th. Chris Samard, Anthony Pelican, the top 12, all within 3 seconds. Cody Adkins in the 13th position. He's got a lot of track to himself. Kind of out there on an island. And then Eric Lambert having a good run here in 14th. He's been able to clear this second pack. Is now being headed up by Jeremiah Vincent. Jeremiah gets by Garrett Wolfenbarger and starting to march towards the front. Almost in the wall for Dennis Faircloth. Rides behind Wolfenbarger and Angelo Ronis. Nick Starling is back. He's in that 2 machine. Carolina Panthers had a bit of an up and down season. 3 wins to start it, 3 losses in a row. A lot of potential for that football team. He rides 20th after starting all the way back in the 30th spot, so on the move for Nick. Has 3 wide right here in front of him. Dennis Faircloth, Angelo Ronis almost get together. Dallas Sullivan feeling it up on the high side. Dallas up 6 spots from where he started. Checking in a little farther back, Alan Dice, Zach Smith, Michael Newman. Michael, one of the drivers who could make it in on points, needs to have a really good run, and right now rides in 23rd. And not really where he needs to be to make up points. He comes into this 17 points out, almost a must-win scenario. But only 4 points behind Ryan Gemmel, so Ryan and Alex Pelican also have issues. He would be the next car in if anybody above the cut line has problems. But everybody nice and clean so far. Taking a look farther up, Samard and Anthony Pelican about set to do battle. Here's the 99, good run out of turn 4. Can't quite get to his inside, but it looks like Chris probably going to leave him some space here. And there goes Anthony, going to work on by. Chris using the high lane and the middle lane, able to cut back down. He rides 12th now. Alex Pelican right there in front of him in 10th. Change for second. Alec Martinez got that spot away from Keith Mayato. Jeremy Miller in 4th, hounding the 36. And now side by side behind them, the V-Speed teammates Seth Hatchell and Ryan Gemmel. And then Bradley Wilson right up here in the mix. Looks like Gemmel should be able to complete that pass. Jeremy Miller, who took out the 36 last week on the last lap of the race. Now alongside these two, we're not happy. I know Mayato was not happy with Jeremy Miller. Jeremy said he's probably expecting some payback. Keith able to hold him down up there on that high side, doing a good job. Not really racing him too aggressively as Jeremy going to dive deep into the corner here in 3 and 4. Still cannot complete the pass. Coming up the racetrack a little bit. Almost gets the side. They nearly touch on the straightaway. Mayato gives him a little bit more breathing room. And Keith working up high. Going to get a really good run out of the corner here. The 30 slides up. Keith going to try and cross him over. Now the 36 with the inside lane. Jeremy running up high. Like he gets a little bit tight. Mayato able to clear him just barely. And Jeremy Miller can get right to his bumper. We'll see which lane they pick this time. Keith goes high entry, cuts down to the inside lane. And look at this side by side. Ryan Gemmel, AJ Stravato. Stravato marching through the field. Started 16th up to 6th. And now going to lose a little momentum. Hatchell to his outside. AJ has to check up there. Here comes Reggie Ortega. And AJ's going to throw an aggressive block. Now Bradley Wilson stuck to the inside. This is what I was talking about earlier. So hard to make passes late in the run on that inside lane. We've only seen a couple guys do it. Good racing up here in the top 10, though. A little bit farther back, it's still Alex Pelican, Anthony Pelican, and Chris Samard. This three-car group. Cody Adkins still on an island by himself. Does have some right rear damage. But running competitive times with the race leaders, actually. Very quick right now. With the clean air on the nose of that car. Jeremiah Vincent, 14th. Dennis Faircloth, 15th. Eric Lambert back to 16th now. Dallas Sullivan in 17th. Nick Starling in 18th. He continues to move forward. Take a look back here. I know Robert Gilmore, a fan favorite, running 27th right now. Up from his 31st starting position. It looks like two drivers did not start tonight's race, so we actually only had 29 on track right now. Brandon Pearl, Dennis Steele racing it up for 28th and 29th back here at the back of the field. There's battles all throughout. These guys about a half lap down at this point. And Brandon was running pretty well in this race. He's got right front damage, though. Looks like he caught the wall pretty hard. Battles farther up. It's pretty intense right here in the mid-pack. Zach Smith looks to the inside of Alan Dice. Michael Newman right there. Garrett Wolfenbarger. Brett Sommers. Joshua Abbey. And Robert Gilmore. All of these guys, you could throw a blanket over them. Trailing behind Angelo Ronis, who's in good position to move on to the playoffs. One of the drivers who's kind of been under the radar, as Dallas Sullivan brings it to pit lane right here, over halfway through the stage. An eye on race leaders to do the same. There's Dennis Steele. He'll bring it on the pit road. The top three staying on the racetrack. Zach Carr, Alec Martinez, Keith Mayato. And Alec is there. He's closed up now, just one car length between the top two. And he's going to work the high lane, get a really good drive off the exit down the backstretch. Looks pretty well committed to that high groove. Keith Mayato not too far back from them. And then Seth Hatchell now goes to third. Mayato actually bringing it to pit lane. He's going to bring Jeremy Miller with him. See who else looks like. Eric Lambert. There, here he comes. Oh, and Robert Gilmore with problems. Misses pit lane. Gets the end of pit road. It looks like really hot on entry. Was never going to make it. Go straight in the barrels. That is his night pretty much done. That car pretty beat up. Here comes Alec Martinez. And then Bradley Wilson came in pretty hot right there. Alex Pelican, Cody Adkins. See where this all cycled out. But Zach Carr, big gap back to Seth Hatchell. It's 1.8 seconds. I would think he might bring it in this time. He's slowing up. Here he comes. Nice and smooth. On entry, as smooth as you like. And there is AJ Stravato. Chris Samard also brings it down. There goes the Zach Smith machine. But Timmy Emanuele also bringing it down. He is in the throwback Pennzoil scheme. While Seth Hatchell takes over the race lead. And here he comes onto pit road, pretty hot on entry. Gets it woed up, and then really close between Ryan Gemmel and Reggie Ortega. There's Dennis Faircloth and others. Jeremiah Vincent, he'll stay on the racetrack and inherit the race lead. Joshua Abbey also staying on the racetrack. Everyone else has brought it on the pit road. We'll see who wins the battle, what the strategies are. Looks like 4 tires for everyone. And here comes Jeremiah Vincent. Joshua Abbey, we'll see what he elects to do. It appears he is possibly out of fuel. Oh, still has power, so he is still well on his way into his pit box. Mayato will take over the race lead. He will have about 4/10 over Jeremy Miller, who brought it in on the same lap. So those guys bringing it in just 3 laps ago. They get back to the top of the leaderboards. Here comes Alec Martinez, who pit just a lap later than them. That car who pit 2 laps later. He's now about 2.5 seconds behind Mayato. Slightly fresher tires. AJ Stravato up to the top 5 right now, and Anthony Pelican, race winner from last week, in 6th. And Dallas Sullivan, Reggie Ortega, Seth Hatchell. Dallas pit earlier than anyone up here in the top 10, and he is going to start to feel the effects of those extra laps on the tires pretty quickly, as he's going to get passed by Reggie. Here comes Hatchell. That battle for 8th position over just like that. And here comes Alex Pelican. Going to move back into 9th. Up at the front, though, battle for the race lead, just as it was on the last lap last week. It's Keith Mayato and Jeremy Miller. There are still 26 cars on the lead lap. No speeding penalties as far as I can tell. A great job by all the drivers. The only issue, Robert Gilmore, who has taken it behind the wall with that hard impact to the end of pit wall. And battle for the race lead. Jeremy Miller there, just 1 car length back. He's got his sights set on the back bumper of that 36. Keith, once again, he's going to use the low lane. Jeremy trying to get to his outside. Can't get there, and Keith will come up the track and seal off the top lane. Jeremy can't do anything about it. He's stuck right here behind Keith. Now Alec Martinez is closed in. The 00 of Brandon Pearl and the 28 of Joshua Abbey are up here in the mix, but they are actually 1 lap down, battling for that lucky dog spot. Brandon's going to dive to the inside of Alec Martinez. They're on about equal tires, but damage on the 00 holding him back. That car starting to make some inroads here. About 1.8 seconds off the leader. He's gained about a half second the last 7 laps, so should be able to get up there and contend for the stage win, but he's going to have to make some passes, which is going to get harder and harder with the laps wearing on. Jeremy Miller going to try and pull a crossover. He's going to get a push from Alec Martinez. Now Alec jumps up to the high side. Keith in the middle lane. Jeremy not clear of him just yet. Side by side for the race lead. Alec trying to find out where he wants to go. Keith Mayato will lead at the line. Side by side for second now with the 18 and the 30. Keith Mayato continues to lead, but that has allowed Zach Carr to catch up that much more. He gained a half second on Keith Mayato last lap. On this 18, he's going to make a big move here on the high side through 3 and 4. Big run for Alec Martinez. He'll take the lead at the line. Less than 25 to go in the stage. Oh, and contact there. Mayato and Alec Martinez get together. That'll slow them both up pretty well, and some damage now to both race cars. Jeremy Miller right there behind it. Everybody able to continue on. Not sure what happened exactly. It looked like Keith came up the racetrack and got into the quarter panel of the 18. But here is Zach Carr. He is there now. That slowed everybody up a ton, and he is challenging for second. Freshest tires of anyone here in the top 5. We get a huge run to the high side. Jeremy Miller catches the wall. A mistake from the 30. He does have a little bit of right front damage. It's not too bad. Any damage on these 550 horsepower high downforce cars does affect you. Battle for the top spot, Zach Carr. He led a lot of this race here in stage 1, and now challenging once again to take that spot back to the inside into turn number 3, door to door. And Alec Martinez not going to give him too much space up off the corner. Zach going to try and get a run here. Can't do it just yet, but closes in through the tri-oval. Here he goes. He'll have the nose ahead into turn number 1, and he'll send it in deep. But so will Alec Martinez. But Zach Carr, that extra lap on the tires for Alec Martinez. Oh, and he doesn't quite clear him. Alex still has the nose there. Trying to pinch him down here in the middle of the corner so that Zach can't quite clear him on exit, and he just gets up in front of him, and Alec tries to cross him over. He's going to try and get back to his quarter here on the high side, and he will. Still side by side, Alec wiggling down into the corner. Trying to get that car to rotate, can't do it, and Zach Carr will take the lead, but has to check up just a bit. Here comes Alec Martinez with the run. Block from Zach Carr. Alec now with the inside lane, going to send it in deep. Not going to have the rotation he needs to get by. But still so tight out of the corner. Zach Carr, though, has the lead in his hands. And Alec Martinez, he'll settle into second for the moment. We'll see if he fights back here in a couple laps. A great battle right there for the top spot. And then Keith Motto in third. Got Brandon Pearl right there in what would be fourth spot, but he is a lap down. And here's his teammate Bradley Wilson about to go a lap down. Not sure what's going on here. His car looks all right. Oh, I see. He tried a 2-tire stop. And he is really struggling right now, well off the pace of the race leaders. And this could be devastating for Brandon. Came into this race 16 points above the cut line. Currently scored 27th on track. Driver who had a long stop, that is Ryan Gemmel. He was in his box for 17.5 seconds, maybe had trouble getting into the box. He rides in 10th, which is not where he wants to be. For only 9 points below the cut line entering the race. Or sorry, 10 points. No, 13. 13 points, that's the right number. And he's working on a driver who's right above him in the standings. Alex Pelican, 9 points below the cut line, but now Alex has a bit of right front damage, actually pretty heavy right front damage. Ryan will make the pass. Chris Samard right now in 8th. Another driver to keep an eye on. Jeremiah Vincent. He tried the 2-tire call. He is 25th and only a couple or a second or so in front of Zach Carr, who is closing in. And this could be a devastating turn of events here for Jeremiah Vincent. Remember, not too far above the cut line for him, just 10 points. 2 drivers above the cut line. Currently scored outside the top 20 in this race. 13 to go in the stage. Not likely that that car would get up to Joshua Abbey, who would be the next one in line for the lucky dog. But Brandon Pearl, he took 4 tires. He's as fast as anybody up here. Actually, yeah, running pretty decent laps, much faster than Jeremiah Vincent or Bradley Wilson. And Bradley Wilson, he is all the way back here, 28th, last car 1 lap down, and well off the pace. I mean, he is nearly 2 seconds a lap slower than the race leader. Jeremiah Vincent, he will go a lap down, and now he's got to hope that Zach Carr does not catch Joshua Abbey, and that gap is about 10 seconds. He'd have to be about a second a lap faster than Joshua, and that is just not the case right now. It's only about 0.2 a lap. Jeremiah's focus now has to be stay in front of this 00 who's in the thick of it right now. Reggie Ortega takes over 6th from Seth Hatchell. And Brandon Pearl, no championship implications on his end. He's not participated in enough races to be eligible to win and get in. And it doesn't look like he will really have the car to do that here tonight anyways. But his teammate Bradley Wilson in a bad spot right now. They have a hard time recovering from this. That car, something looks fundamentally wrong with it right now, actually. Follow behind him. You can see it looks like he is turning the wheel a ton, and that thing is just not rotating. Might have blown a tire at this point. With just 10 laps to go in the stage, he's going to have to muscle it out and hope he doesn't go another lap down, but he is really slow right now. That car's still a half second above Alec Martinez. And Keith Mato, he is about a second back. And then AJ Stravato up here in 5th. Trying to track down Jeremy Miller before the end of the stage. AJ is flying right now. Behind him, Reggie Ortega, Seth Hatchell, Chris Samard pretty far back, just exiting turn 4. But it does look like Reggie and Seth are closing in on AJ. About 0.2 a lap faster. Battle for the race lead. Starting to pick up once again, though. Zach Carr and Alec Martinez, just 2.5 car lengths separating these drivers. Been on top of their game tonight. Oh, and Alec goes right in the tire tracks of Zach Carr. That'll hurt him on the exit. Zach able to pull him just a little bit right there. And Keith Mato slowly closing in on these top 2 as they get closer and closer. It'll be 5 laps to go in the stage next time by. Top 3 separated by 3/4 of a second. And then look at this gaggle. Jeremy Miller, AJ Stravato, Reggie Ortega, Seth Hatchell. You got Jeremiah Vincent on the old tires right in the mix. Now AJ, he'll work to the inside of Jeremy Miller. Can't quite get by. And here comes Reggie Ortega. Just looks like he was shot out of a cannon. His tires a couple laps fresher. Both he and Seth Hatchell have been running so smoothly back here, not battling. And they are moving their way through the field. Jeremy Miller, he'll drop a few spots right there. Alec Martinez still not able to close, but Mayato is closing up for sure. That gap now under 0.6. He's trying to make a charge here for the stage win. Zach Carr already a mountain of playoff points from his 4 wins. Looking to add to that with another stage point. Keeping an eye on the gap to Joshua Abbey. It's still pretty far up the road from Zach Carr, so they won't encounter any lap traffic. That is probably good news for Jeremiah Vincent, who rides right here. Where's Brandon Pearl? Not far behind him. If Brandon can get up there and get by Jeremiah, he'd get the lucky dog. And also, he could help out his teammate potentially by trapping Jeremiah Vincent a lap down. Jeremiah, the next closest in points to Bradley Wilson, and that would keep them still pretty close, but it might also eliminate both of them. Not really going to be able to save Bradley at this point, so we'll see what he's able to do if he can catch Jeremiah, but still battle for the race lead. 2.5 car lengths, the 27 and the 18. And my auto right there. They have caught up now. That is the 51. Bradley Wilson, who's going to go 2 laps down. And big problems for that driver who entered the race. Oh, and he's in the wall. Entered the race 10th in points. Or sorry. He's actually 7th. But he's only 2 spots above the cut line with the 3 winners below the cut line. And he is having big problems right now. He is 2 laps down. And he is going to have a hard time coming back from this. He may not be able to climb back, finish anywhere above the top 25. Meanwhile, battle for the stage. It's Zach Carr through turns 3 and 4. Coming to the start-finish line here. It looks like Zach Carr will win the stage. Another playoff point. Alec Martinez second. Keith Mato third. Reggie Ortega just gets by AJ Stravato. Coming to the line there. Caution will fly. Zach Carr leads 50 of the first 75 laps on his way to stage win. They let that pace car on by. Assuming everybody will pit, there's really nobody that can stay out. Jeremiah Vincent is going to be a benefactor of the lucky dog. I don't think anybody's going to be able to take a wave around. That car will lead the field down pit road. We are going to step away for just a moment as these guys do their pit stops. We'll be right back.
V-Speed is proud to be partnered with Below the Double Yellow podcast, a podcast for NASCAR fans by NASCAR fans.
Back to the racetrack now. Let's see if we can get a word in quickly with our stage winner, Zach Carr. I think they'll still have 2 to go here under caution flag. We'll see if we can pull him in. Yeah, looks like at least 2 more to go. We'll pull him in here. Zach Carr, Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got me.
I got you.
Well, Zach, you were leading the way there before pit stop started. You waited a couple extra laps. You chased those guys down and able to hold off in an intense battle with Alec Martinez. How's the car feeling?
Oh, this thing's it's super tight out here. I think Alex a little bit better than me at the mid to late run. Same thing with Keith. I think Keith's kind of a sleeper on the tire there. I mean, he started coming strong there at the end too.
Yeah, what's it going to take here? You got a lot of laps left. So what's really the goal here over this second stage?
I mean, pretty much with any mile and a half, it's about being committed to the best line on the racetrack to save tire, and that's, I mean, clearly the bottom. I think you've noticed from the booth. You know, if a guy races you really hard, you know, you just don't race him back really hard if it's early in the run. It's just really not worth burning up those tires, because if you burn up those tires early, you're not going to get them back for the rest of the 40 lap run you got. So you just kind of have to stay disciplined what your plan is.
Doing a great job of that so far. You've led the majority of this race and trying to get that 5th victory of the season. Looking good out there, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thanks, guys.
That car race leader, stage winner as well. Also the points leader. He's got the most wins across the board, having a fantastic season and a really good start to the night here at Charlotte Motor Speedway, as he will take the inside lane to get us going back once again. Then it'll be AJ Stravato, Reggie Ortega, Seth Hatchell, Jeremy Miller, and then Chris Samard, who's got quite a bit of right front damage. See what happened to Chris, but he must have caught the wall at some point. And Cody Adkins, Dallas Sullivan, Nick Starling right up here in the mix as well. Dennis Faircloth. Where's Alec Martinez? He is all the way back here in 25th. What is going on? Problems for the 18 who's sitting on the racetrack sideways by the start-finish line. He has towed it. Alec has taken it to pit road. And there is a contender now eliminated from this race. Well, in essence, yeah, he'll be at least a couple laps down by the time he gets back on track if he decides to. He had quite a bit of damage there. I don't really know what happened. Issues for the 18 cars. Here is Zach Carr and Keith Mayato going to get us rolling. Green flag back in the air. Good jump for Zach Carr, who's able to clear Keith Mayato. Here comes AJ Stravato and Reggie Ortega. They streak across the start-finish line. It is Zach Carr with about 2 car lengths over Keith Mayato. Pretty well spread out on this restart. Does not look anything like the initial start of this race. Side by side back here for a moment was Dennis Faircloth and Dallas Sullivan. Eric Lambert having a good night still up here in the top 15. Timmy Emanuele, 15th spot right now as well. Pretty strong night for Timmy. Right there, Garrett Wolfenbarger on his tail, and Zach Smith as well. Then you got Alex Pelican back here in 18th, having some issues. And Anthony Pelican back here in 20th. Not sure what happened there. They topped up on fuel. That was what happened. Wow, Ryan Gemmel, who is on the outside of that cut line, still trying to take advantage and race his way in tonight. He's up here in 8th after leading the first 10 laps of this race. Fell back a little ways, has some left front damage. Right now, just cruising here in the top 10. Nick Starling, very impressed with his return to the series, running in 9th. Chris Simard right here behind him, a V-Speed sandwich for the driver, the number 2. Dennis Faircloth, strong run. He's going to make a move to the outside of Chris Simard. Dennis is a driver, too. He can have a breakout night here. Lock himself in with a clutch victory. That would be very impressive if he could do that. Ran very strongly just last night at Atlanta, at least in the early stages of that race. Single file most of this field, but you see Timmy Emanuele and Chris Simard up on the high side of their respective battles. Zach Smith to the inside of Timmy, and Angelo Ronis now to the inside of Chris Simard. He's going to take that spot away. Chris just gives it to him. Taking it easy up there in that second groove. Getting feisty back here. Here comes Alex Pelican charging his way forward. We know he's got the speed to run in the top 10. Gotten some damage repaired on that race car and topped up on fuel. There could be an advantage for that if this becomes some type of a fuel mileage race. But it looks like we can go about 40 to 45 laps on a tank of fuel. Look at that run there on the inside for Alex. He'll get by Timmy Emanuele. Here's Garrett Wolfenberger giving him a shove down the front stretch. They continue to fight side by side. Also battle right here. Alan Dice, Joshua Abbey for the 20th position. And then the 51 of Bradley Wilson, 2 laps down still. Rides in 27th. Jeremiah Vincent got the lucky dog. He rides 24th. Already about 8 seconds off the race leader. And Michael Newman right there. He's got heavy nose damage. Not sure what happened to Michael, but he's a driver trying to get in on points as well, and looks like he is going to have a tough time doing that with that race car. They'll need a lot of issues from all those drivers in the top 12. One of them just flew right on past him. Jeremiah Vincent takes 23rd away. How about this? Reggie Ortega up to 2nd. Trying to close up on Zach Carr. Looking for that clean air. Gets down lower on entry. And Zach will close off that lane and throw some dirty air on the front of the 22 Virtual Racing League machine. Right behind him, Keith Mayato. Still hanging tough up here in the top 5. And Jeremy Miller, AJ Stravato. They'll complete the top 5 with Seth Hatchell all over the back bumper of Stravato. These two no strangers to each other. The last 2 season champions right there. As they run based on pretty much pure performance week in and week out, I think it's going to be one of our top 6 taking the championship this season. You never know, though. Alec Martinez with his victory being locked in. He's got a good opportunity. He's been fast every race. Anthony Pelican's been a contender week in and week out as well. A lot of really great drivers in this league. And tonight, putting on a really good show. They've been clean this entire way. If we recap just the stage break caution, and 8 total lead changes up front. So it's been pretty competitive up here in the top 10. As Keith Mayato looks to the inside of Reggie Ortega, can't get it done. Jeremy Miller lost a lot of momentum. Here comes AJ Stravato. He gets the run on the front stretch. Seth Hatchell is going to push him through. That'll open the door for Seth to try and make something happen, but just can't get there. Still side by side for second. Reggie Ortega, Keith Mayato. Here comes AJ with a huge run out of turn 2. A full head of steam. He will shove Reggie right on by. Oh, and Jeremy Miller, he's going to brush the wall again. Battle for 10th, and actually battle for 9th. Ryan Gemmel, Dennis Faircloth. Behind them, battle for 11th. Dallas Sullivan and Eric Lambert. Nick Starling's moved up to 8th. He's starting to challenge the 8 car and the 81. Nick is still eligible. He missed a bunch of races. He had to move for a new job and been away from the league for a little bit, but good to see him back here and having a great race so far. Almost halfway through, running up here in the top 10. Challenging last year's champion for a spot. Side by side back here, Keith Mayato, Jeremy Miller. AJ Stravato's gotten through to 3rd. And 4 side-by-side battles in a row. Looks like Nick Starling, he'll take 7th away from Seth Hatchell. Doing a really good job right now. Ryan Gemmel, Dennis Faircloth. Dennis backs out of it. Ryan takes the spot. He'll get 9th away. Dennis Faircloth, Eric Lambert, and Dallas Sullivan all going to do battle here down in turn 1. Dennis way up by the wall. Looked for a moment like Dallas might take him 3 wide, but elects not to do that. He jumps back to the high side, and Angelo Romanis right there. Alex Pelican continues his march back through the field. Got that extra splash of fuel. Might be able to get him an extra lap or 2 at the end of this run, and that could make the difference in making it to the end. Almost contact right there. Dennis Faircloth went deep into that corner, and he almost got the back bumper of Dallas Sullivan. That could have been disastrous for both of these guys who are looking for a victory to try and make it into the playoffs and having a really good night so far. How about Eric Lambert, though? He's up here in 10th spot. Simulators Anonymous. Number 3 machine of Eric Lambert having a great race right now. Trying to make up for what happened to him last night with the wheel failure. Straight up running up here in the top 10. Really good job from him. Side by side for 8th. That's going to be Ryan Gemmel and Nick Starling. Nick's gotten passed up now by Seth Hatchell as the V-Speed machines nose to tail here on the front stretch. Ryan giving Nick plenty of room. And nose damage does appear to be hindering Gemmel right now. The driver with big issues, Chris Samard, he has fallen all the way back here to 19th. That right front pretty well pounded in a pretty scary situation right now. He comes into this race just 9 points above the cut line. Both he and Jeremiah Vincent 10 points and 9 points respectively. Right now, their competitors, Alex Pelican and Ryan Gemmel, currently outperforming them. Alex up to 13th. Ryan is running up here in the top 10 in 8th. So it is going to be very close at the cut line at this point. Chris would be in front of Jeremiah in the standings, and he would still beat Alex Pelican, but very close between he and Ryan Gemmel. Ryan leading some laps in this race. Jeremiah did lead a lap, so he did get that bonus point. Meanwhile, out in front, Speaking of leading, that is Zach Carr continuing to show the way here. We may have had a problem for Cody Adkins. He's going to drop down here on the apron, able to get it back up to speed. But what happened? Oh, contact between he and Keith Mayato. Let's go to the overhead. Not exactly sure if he thought he was clear or just trying to get up there and get a wider arc into the corner, but either way sets back both he and Keith Mayato. Keith gonna have some big damage on that race car. After leading 7 laps in this race and being one of the quickest out there, he's gonna probably struggle here for the second half of this one. Eric Lambert looking to try and make the move. Mayato goes to the apron. I think he knows what the deal is. He may even take it behind the wall with all of that right front damage. Gonna be well off the pace. Could even have engine damage with that. He will pull it to pit lane. Probably to the attention of his crew, maybe behind the wall. Nearly won last week, got turned on the last lap, and now halfway in this race. Issues not of his own doing. As he'll pull into the box here, we'll see what he does. Start service on the car, so maybe just getting that repaired. But Zach Carr, I put him a lap down right there, and it'll be at least a couple more laps if they try and fix that thing. And that is a big boost there. That'll help out Bradley Wilson, who currently rides 26th. He would be very close to being knocked out of this one. Yeah, Bradley Wilson 2 laps down. He's going to now take the spot 25th. Mayato still sits on pit lane. Dennis Faircloth, Eric Lambert going at it here. The two simulators, anonymous machines. What a showing for these two drivers, as they are fighting up here in the top 10. Dennis right where he started, and Eric up 6 spots now, about to lose one here to Alex Pelican, who's on the move on this run. Side by side through 1 and 2. The 21 of Alex Pelican trying to get that spot away. Eric will hang on to it. Out in front, Reggie Ortega. He has started to close up on Zach Carr. Look at this. Reggie looking for his first win of the season. Now AJ Stravato up here in 3rd. Jeremy Miller in 4th. Seth Hatchell in 5th. Nick Starling, he's moved his way up to 6th. Really good run from Nick, who's on a pretty janky setup right now. I think he's using like a TV stand as his wheel mount, and it's pretty low. It's like all the way down between his knees, so he's probably not in the most comfortable position racing here tonight, but doing a really good job up in 6th spot. Ryan Gemmel in 7th. Dennis Faircloth 8th, Eric Lambert 9th, Alex Pelican rounding out the top 10. Take a look farther back. Chris Smart is 19th. He is in the danger zone. Jeremiah Vincent now trying to make the move on Brett Sommers. So Jeremiah goes 20th. He would still be in front of Chris Samard. Or they'd be tied right now. Oh wait, no, he would be in front because the bonus point would match him with Chris's points tonight, and entered 1 point above Chris. So they're both on the hot seat with drivers like Ryan Gemmel moving up. Bradley Wilson all the way at the back of the field, probably in the most danger here tonight though. Keith Mayato taking it behind the wall. He will finish in 26th position here tonight. Top three are tightening up right now, though. Zach Carr in front by about 4 car lengths over Reggie Ortega, and then AJ Stravato is slowly creeping into the picture. He was faster than both of those two in front of him. The biggest mover of the night, Nick Starling, here in 6th. Up 24 positions in this race. That is just so impressive for him to do that, as he really has nobody he's battling with right now. He's got about a second over Ryan Gemmel, who led this race at one point. And Ryan feeling the effects of the left front damage. Starting to fall back towards Eric Lambert, Alex Pelican, and Dennis Faircloth. Faircloth probably used his stuff up a little bit too much on this run. Oh, and there's contact. Alex Pelican gets the bumper from Zach Smith. And they all hang on to it, but scary moment right there as Zach really dove it in. Now he's going to try and make the move on Dennis Faircloth. Angelo Ronis right here behind all of that. One of the drivers well above the cut line. 28 coming into this race. Reggie Ortega 34, essentially locked in on points. I think by starting he locked himself in. Angelo Ronis, I think at this point should be safe with the cars leaving the race and him starting as well. He should be pretty well locked in. So that's going to leave just 3 spots with Bradley Wilson, Jeremiah Vincent, Chris Samard, Alex Pelican, Ryan Gemmel, and Michael Newman all fighting for them. At the front still, Zach Carr, 2 car lengths over Reggie Ortega. They're all pretty well committed to the bottom line. Reggie losing in the corners, he'll gain back on the straights. Same deal for AJ as you get farther back. The dirty air just gets worse and worse. Seth Hatchell's made it up to 4th and 1.6 seconds off the leader. See what kind of lap times he can put down and see if he can track those guys. Jeremy Miller going backwards. He was 2.5 tenths off the pace. And Nick Starling closing in just couple car lengths behind. What a story that would be for Nick Starling to come out here, return to the league, and go out there and win a race. He enters tonight. He is currently 35th in the standings after missing the last 6 races. His only goal here tonight is to win. Is doing a great job trying to get up in the top 5 right now. This battle for the for 5th position, Jeremy Miller, Nick Starling getting pretty good. Nick gets a really nice run out of turn 2. Jeremy really having problems. Nick sends it in deep into the corner. Can't quite get by, so they'll be nose to nose at the exit of the corner. But Jeremy, with that momentum, should be able to pull him back on the straights. But Nick, with the shorter way around, still right there on his quarter panel. A real shallow entry for Nick Starling. It's right to the painted line. Might be able to get it here. I think he should clear him, but no, here comes Jeremy back to the outside. Deep into the corner once again for Nick Starling, who looks like he's going to bring it to pit lane to try and undercut the leaders. Nice job getting down to pit road speed. Keeping an eye on Eric Lambert. Zach Smith also bringing it in after about 45 laps on this run. Also, Zach Carr brought it in. I missed that. He just pulls into his box. Alan Dice and a handful of others rolling off. Ryan Gemmel just made his stop. And he might have got an unsafe pit exit right there. Have to see. It looks like he's good for the moment. Hasn't brought it back in. A lot of drivers pulling it down. AJ Stravato takes the top spot, and Seth Hatchell to second. But Reggie Ortega, Jeremy Miller working their way onto pit road. Dennis Faircloth, Cody Adkins, and a bunch of others. There is Anthony Pelican. That'll leave 6 cars on the racetrack. And there's AJ Stravato really throwing that car on the pit lane. Gets it down to pit road speed for the moment. We'll see if he got speeding. But he and 5 more leaders will bring it down. Jeremiah Vincent also bringing it in. Good cycle out to that car in the race lead. Ryan Gemmel able to get past Reggie Ortega. That extra couple laps that those guys ran, really see how that affected them. And Ryan needed to get some track position. Here we go, rolling off pit road for AJ Serrato. There's Zach Carr. That's the battle for the lead, and Zach going to go blow right on past him. Here goes Ryan. He'll take second. And Reggie as well. Oh, and maybe issues for AJ Stravato. He got up above the painted line for sure. But was it before the exit line? We'll have to wait and see if he gets any type of a penalty at all. But that was a close moment for AJ Stravato. And here's Seth Hatchell, Nick Starling. Nick, of course, pitting earlier than these guys. Didn't gain any track position. Did not have the best run down pit road. Actually, about a second slower than Zach Carr. That is the first piece of strategy. We've had no yellow flags at all in this race other than the stage break. And this is just straight up speed, tire conservation, a little bit of pit strategy, tire strategy. We've got 75 to go in this one. Zach Carr re-inherits the race, leads 2.7 seconds ahead of now Reggie Ortega, who takes second away from Ryan Gemmel. And it looks like the only speeding penalty was Joshua Abbey. Finds himself 1 lap down. So very good job by everybody. Jeremy Miller had a slightly extended stop. He must have missed his box. Will run in 7th right now. Dallas Sullivan in 8th. Garrett Wolfenbarger in 9th. Eric Lambert, not sure what happened, but he lost a lot of ground during the pit stop. 15th right now after running up there in the top 10. Dennis Faircloth also losing a few positions. He rides in 12th. Chris Samard able to cycle out to 11th. He pit a little bit earlier than some of these other guys. And right now trying to make up the ground that he needs to keep a gap over Jeremiah Vincent. Jeremiah runs 21st right now. Just has not had the race go his way. Could be in a dangerous position. Bradley Wilson also still 2 laps down in the middle of all this battling. It is going to be extremely close at the cut line exiting tonight's race, with Bradley having all these problems. As it sits, I think Ryan Gebel would make it in. Alex Pelican riding in 15th right here on the screen. Should be able to get a few more spots as this run progresses, but not exactly where Alex wants to be. At the moment, though, with Ryan Gemmel in fourth, getting passed up by AJ Servato, he is 20 points above Bradley Wilson. And that would be more than enough. Or actually, you know what? That would be spot on exactly how many he needs to gain. But only, I think, 14 points behind Jeremiah Vincent right now. He is 17 positions above him. They both have led laps, so that's negated. And then Chris Samard, he's doing what he needs to do, running 12th. He should advance if he can finish around the top 15 or within the top 15. And right now, struggling just a bit, 13th, losing a spot to Angelo Ronas. The no battle for the race lead, just battles here in the mid-pack. Chris Samard up there into the outside wall, just a little rub. Gets passed up by Alex Pelican. Those two fighting for that final playoff spot. And here is Zach Smith trying to squeeze in behind the 37. Almost got into him as they battle with Eric Lambert. That was a very close call. They back out, or Zach backs out of it. How about this up here, getting pretty wild with the 21, the 32, 17. You throw Bradley Wilson in there 2 laps down, but on equal tires. After starting 18th, he drove up. He was inside the top 10, and a bad strategy call during the stage to try and take 2 tires really hurt him. Ended up going 2 laps down in stage number 1, and still maintaining that right now. Seth Hatchell's work done by his teammate Ryan Gemmel. Ryan almost catches the wall right there. And this is a battle for position. Jeremy Miller, Nick Starling. Jeremy's just gotten past the number 2. Now a change of hands for second is, well, actually, they're fighting for it right now. Reggie Ortega and AJ Servato, as they battle, they continue to close on Zach Carr a couple of tenths a lap. AJ completes the pass. He's got Reggie right there all over him. Doesn't look like he'll make a move to try and get back past. What an interesting race it's been. Some drivers having issues that we didn't expect. 2 of the heavy hitters here, Alec Martinez and Keith Maotto, are out of this race. They were fighting for the lead for a lot of this event. And either of them really making it past halfway. The lead gap now just 1.5 seconds. AJ Servato starting to close in. Got 2 lap fresher tires than Zach Carr, and Zach probably trying to run smooth and consistent right now and maintain what he has. Also keep an eye on Seth Hatchell. He is consistently quicker than the rest of these guys up here in the top 3. Ryan Gemmel able to hang on to 5th for the moment, but you can see Jeremy Miller and Nick Starling closing in. They have quite a ways to go on this run still, probably about 30 more laps. About 25 to 30 laps, I would say, is when we'll start seeing more pit stops. Very spread out for the moment. Zach Carr's lead is shrinking, though. 1.3 seconds back to AJ Servato, who's really pushing his car hard. Cody Adkins, Dallas Sullivan, both of these guys trying to fight for a win. Running in the top 10 right now, along with Nick Starling. Alex Pelican has moved to 10th. He's trying to get in position to advance. Right now, would have 9 spots over Chris Samard. Chris starting to fall back towards Jeremiah Vincent. That would make them even in the standings right now. And look at this crazy set of battles right here. Anthony Pelican moves by Zach Smith. Here comes Timmy Emanuele trying to pass up Garrett Wolfenbarger. Then Eric Lambert trying to clear Alan Dyson. They're hard in the wall. Spinning around goes the 57. Caution will fly. And what a relief that must be for quite a few drivers. Jeremiah Vincent, Chris Samard now have another chance to make up some ground. They were really struggling and with damage. Well, let's go take a look at what brought this out. Looks like just the 3-car trying to clear himself up the racetrack when there was very clearly a car right there. Take a look in the overhead. Yeah, Eric just comes right up into Alan Dice. That'll send them both into the outside barrier. And just not quite sure what Eric was doing at that moment. Probably thought he had some more room and just really drove up in Allen, who had nowhere to go. And hard hits for both drivers. That is going to be a big benefit to Brandon Pearl, who might be able to gain a couple spots out of all of this. While the race leaders going to bring it on to pit road. This could shake up strategy just a bit. They definitely won't be able to make it from here. There goes Bradley Wilson. Right on by. He may take a wave around. Either way, he should be able to make it on one more stop, so he could at least possibly get one of these laps back. Like Joshua Abbey gets the lucky dog. Brandon Pearl currently showing one lap down. He is in pit lane, or has not brought it to pit. Did pit 3 laps ago, though, so bad timing for the 0-0. That car wins the battle off pit road. AJ Stravato second. Reggie Ortega third. Ryan Gemmel, great pit stop from that crew. They get him out into the 4th position, and exactly what Ryan needs. He's got to be as close to the front as possible. Under 60 to go. If you're enjoying the broadcast, please consider following or subscribing right here on YouTube, and check us out all these different social media outlets, where we announce each and every broadcast before we go live. You can learn more about the point standings and other things coming up if you are following us on those platforms. I do want to thank you for tuning in here tonight. Hope you have enjoyed it so far. The Below the Double Yellow Marathon 300 from Charlotte Motor Speedway. As we work under the yellow flag, we're going to go to a quick commercial break, and we will be right back.
Simulators Anonymous is an online gaming community. The heart of this community is playing simulator-style games, everything from driving, farming, flying, to the occasional survival game. We would love for you to join us. If you play these style of games, or if you're just looking for a great community, we strive to be a community you can be an active participant in by offering events like every third Saturday night is a late night trucking on Truckers MP. We have a very own Minecraft server and with other servers starting soon. Come join Simulators Anonymous today at www.simulatorsanonymous.com.
Getting ready to restart here. Below the Double Yellow Marathon 300. 200 lap race tonight, 300 miles. Already gone through stage number 1, now halfway through stage 2. This is the regular season finale. Drivers fighting for the top 12 in the standings. This is their last opportunity in. A few drivers starting to make their way towards the front, some struggling and fading towards the back. We'll see how it all shakes out. We've got 60-ish more laps to go to see where it all ends up. Green flag back in the air. Zach Carr, great jump over his teammate AJ Stravato. AJ getting a big push from Ryan Gemmel. Down low, Reggie Ortega, big push from Jeremy Miller. That car still hanging on to the top spot. He has dominated this race by all measures. Wins stage number 1. He's led the most laps by far. And he has not really let anybody challenge him through much of this event. But right now, Reggie Ortega doing a lot of strength here, especially the early portion of these last couple runs. See, he is right there. He wants that race lead. But Zach Carr, too strong right now on the inside lane, able to hold him off. Battling farther back, that is going to be Angelo Ronas and Anthony Pelican. Seth Hatchell right here in this. He had a problem on pit lane. We saw him miss his box. Took him a couple tries to get readjusted and riding in 12th right now. But a driver who's been in the top 5 for much of this race going to struggle now to probably get back up to that point. But still some time to do so. Still a pit stop yet to perform. Bradley Wilson still 2 laps down. He didn't take a wave run, but Timmy Emanuele, he's taking it behind the wall. Issues for the 39. That is going to help the 51. He'll gain another spot from that. That's exactly what Bradley Wilson needs. Also, Brandon Pearl will benefit from that. They are both 2 laps down, the Shenandoah Shine Machines. But Bradley just a night to forget. He's still hoping he can recover. Needs a couple quick cautions. He's in the lucky dog position, but he can't be part of the wreck. So trying to run clean, trying to stay close enough to these guys in front of him. Meanwhile, at the front, Zach Carr has a mirror full of Reggie Ortega. Look at that. He is right there. In 22, his best performance this season. Even with the podium finish, he has definitely got the momentum coming here at the end of the regular season after a bit of a lull in performance. Really shot out of the cannon early in this season, and a few top 5s, top 10s, and then he had a couple bad races there. Finding his groove late in the regular season, that's exactly when you need to do it. Single file all the way back. think the closest battle, Chris Samard and Brett Sommers, but that is still a car length and a half. Chris in 18th. Jeremiah Vincent has been able to climb all the way to 13th, so a second chance at life essentially in this race. And he is putting himself in a position to advance into the playoffs right now. Just 8 spots behind Ryan Gemmel and only 5 spots behind Alex Pelican. It will be very, very tight, especially if any of these drivers have issues. And now Chris Samard in a dangerous spot. He could very easily lose out to Ryan Gemmel, his teammate. Assuming Bradley Wilson doesn't lose out to both of them. Right now, Bradley, 22nd on track. I mean, just not where he needs to be. He's in a hole, won't be able to climb out of it without a couple yellow flags. And even if that is the case, he's still going to be mired deep in this field. Not a lot of time to recover, but the way they're starting to get racy up front, anything could happen. It is Zach Carr, Reggie Ortega, AJ Stravato, Jeremy Miller, and Ryan Gemmel, your top 5. And then, how about that? Nick Starling, Alex Pelican. At one point there, Alex was buried pretty deep in the running order. But now climbing back inside the top 10. Dallas Sullivan, Anthony Pelican side by side back here for 9th and 10th. Now Jeremiah Vincent looks to the inside of Seth Hatchell. That's 12th and 13th. That's not just going to roll over for him, though. He knows how important it is to keep that 9 car farther back for his team. And Jeremiah, he knows how important every point is in this race. He needs to get everything he can. So he's going to be driving like a madman, which is not really Jeremiah's style. Usually a much more conservative driver for the first half of a race, and then you'll see him start to climb towards the front. And I guess, in a way, kind of the case tonight. Nothing really changing up front. Still nose to tail. The top 3. Really all the way back to Cody Atkins in 8th. They are only separated by about a car length each. But now AJ Stravato looks to the inside of Reggie Ortega. Can't get it done there. Jeremy Miller trying to line up a good exit from turn number 4. Just cannot get by right there. He's going to have Ryan Gemmel all over his bumper. So if anybody makes a mistake here, it could collect a lot of race cars. Got to be very aware of what's going on in front of you and around you. Right now, as they run, Ryan Gemmel in 5th, Alex Pelican in 6th. I believe Alex would definitely be in. And Ryan, he just might make it. So these two guys, they've really stepped up here tonight. It's not over yet, but they've got to close it out here. They've got to complete this run and get a good finish. They want any chance of advancing to the playoffs, both the 6 and the 21. Michael Newman's already been eliminated from the equation. He's behind the wall. As Ryan Gemmel, the aggressive look down to the inside, not going to have any space to make that move. He'll back out of it, and Jeremy Miller keeps the 6 at bay right now. Everybody chomping at the bit. And when do they make that final pit stop? It's been almost 20 laps on this run. So we'll have 40 to go as they cross the stripe right there. Still Zach Carr in front by about 2/10. And nobody can catch the 27 here tonight. They've run up with him on the short run. On the long run, though, he just pulls away with that clean air. Gemmel taking a peek down low again. Can't get it alongside Miller. He checking up on entry to the corner, trying to time that run on exit. Just being impeded a little bit by that left front damage, I think. See the wider arc on entry, cuts it down in the center. Able to close up right there, just nowhere to go with the run. Puts the bumper to the 30. He's actually going to swing it high, and now Ryan swings it down low. He'll send it in deep here, and there's a little door rubbing. Jeremy Miller not giving him any space, but Alex Pelican's going to give the assistance to the 6 car as they push down the front stretch. Gemmel trying to make that pass happen. Jeremy Miller hanging tough on the high side. Gemmel right down there painting the white and blue stripe. Jeremy Miller still able to power on by on the high side. But Gemmel unable to complete that pass, using up a little bit of tire trying to do so. Gonna have to try and hold off Alex Pelican, who is right there and might try his own attempt at a pass. Taking a look farther back, Jeremiah Vincent moving up towards the top 10. This battle with Dallas Sullivan for 11th. They're racing really close right now. Dallas, of course, trying to win and make it in. Here comes Dennis Faircloth right up there by the outside wall. Seth Hatchell saving some tire in the early portion of this run. He's starting to close back up. Right now, the top 15 only separated by 2.5 seconds. That is absolutely wild. Zach Smith right here, 2.5 seconds behind your race leader. Hatchell completes the pass. Oh, and there's contact between the 46 and the 9. Dallas Sullivan not happy with Jeremiah Vincent. Whatever just happened there, they almost went around, and Jeremiah told you he'd have to be aggressive, and he made an aggressive move on Dallas. Look at this. Just clears himself. The 46 goes to make the move. The 9 with the block. They get together. What a save. It may have saved his chance at the playoffs. And now up to 11. Dallas Sullivan losing ground because of that. Jeremiah had wrecked, he probably would be eliminated. So doing what he needs to do to save his race and his season. Right up against the wall for elimination. Currently having a really good rebound from that first stage mistake of taking 2 tires. Meanwhile, the battle for 4th, 5th, and 6th still pretty close here. Gemmel, Pelican, Jeremy Miller. Throw a blanket over those 3. Good run from Alex. This time tries to peak low. But too strong from the 6 of Ryan Gemmel. A single file all the way back to Angelo Ronis in 10th. Then a bit of a gap, about 1.1 seconds to Jeremiah Vincent, leading Seth Hatchell, Dennis Faircloth, and Dallas Sullivan. 25 laps through this run. And we've got a car on pit lane. That is the 57 of Alan Dice, who's heavily damaged from the previous wreck. Misses his box right there as well. So issues for Alan. Continuing to mount. Jeremy Miller goes a bit wide on exit, able to keep it off the wall. May come down to the timing of this last pit stop to see who makes it through into the playoffs. And now it is going to be a tight battle. Jeremiah Vincent doing what he needs to do. He should be able to advance no matter what if he finishes right around where he is. Chris Samard in the danger zone, though. He is well behind Ryan Gemmel and Alex Pelican, who were both just not that far below him. Side by side now for third, Jeremy Miller, AJ Stravato. We'll see here if Gemmel's able to make anything happen. They're closing up on the slow car of Timmy Emanuele. That's going to get pretty tricky right there. They all get through for the moment. 39 so slow up by the wall, though. Heavy damage all around that race car. As now Ryan Gemmel makes the move to the inside of Jeremy Miller. And I think I heard a car blow up and go around, possibly. That Cody Adkins spins it out on the front stretch. He's going to get back rolling. Very slow here, right by the Roval section. What happened to Cody? Racing with Nick Starling. He got hit by the 99. Oh, catches the end of pit wall. No yellow flag for that. And that is going to be the end of the race, essentially, for the 81, who works his way back forward. Heavy damage. That car is broken, I believe. Zach Carr, Reggie Ortega, AJ Stravato. Cody just limping around the apron. I don't know if he's going to try and exact revenge here on anyone. That 81 car in trouble as they are getting pretty slicing and dicing up here. The 80 and the 9 and the 8 starting to move forward, closing in on the top 10. Keeping an eye on drivers making pit stops. None of the leaders yet. They still have about 25, or they'll have 26 to go at the line this time. And it is Zach Carr, Reggie Ortega, AJ Stravato, Jeremy Miller, Ryan Gemmel, still the top 5. Alex Pelican all over Gemmel. Nick Starling able to hang on to 7th after getting hit by Cody Adkins. Cody really paying the price off the nose of Anthony Pelican. That was the big hit right there. Cody has brought it down, and that's going to be another spot or so for Bradley Wilson. Bradley's still, he's in the top 20 right now, 2 laps down in the lucky dog spot with Alan Dice, Timmy Emanuele, and many others falling out of this race. He might just be able to skate through, assuming someone like Ryan Gemmel or Alex Pelican do not win the race, or anyone else outside the top 12. Jeremy Miller's brought it down pit lane. Brett Sommers pulling off there. Dennis Faircloth just brought it in. Dallas Sullivan has been on pit road. Brett Sommers, we just said, was on pit road. Keeping an eye on other leaders. This could be a winning move for Jeremy Miller. He's going to go a lap down for the moment. We'll have to see if anybody like Ryan Gemmel or Alex Pelican, if they can pull anything off. They're still pretty close to the leader, just a second and a half. Now Gemmel with a bit of clean air. He's going to have to make the most of it. Keeping an eye on drivers trying to get it done here tonight. We've got battling back here. Jeremiah Vincent, Anthony Pelican, Seth Hatchell's passed all of them. And the 17 of Angelo Ronis trying to work his way through. The 1 of Zach Smith right here in the mix. If any of these guys bring it in, doesn't look like it. Still on the racetrack for Zach Carr. 22 laps to go. Is that Seth Hatchell right up there by the wall? He's running that Kyle Larson line all the way by the safer barrier. Trying to make up some ground right now. Running as quick as the top 5. Just not quite close enough. And he checked up big time right. Oh, actually, that's Jeremy Miller on the fresh tires. That's what the effect is. Still, the leaders all staying on the racetrack. Are they thinking they can stretch it? Because that would be 58 laps. And I just don't see that being possible. Let's go on board here with Zach Carr if he's shutting the engine off. He is not shutting the engine off. We did have Nick Starling bring it in. Also Chris Samard, Zach Smith, Bradley Wilson, and that looks like Wolfenbarger as well, also on pit road. Nick Starling, he'll get rolling here. 4-tire pit stop. Here comes Zach Carr bringing Alex Pelican, Anthony Pelican, Jeremiah Vincent, all coming down on pit road. That leaves Reggie Ortega, the race leader. And AJ Stravato right there. You see Jeremy Miller's already unlapped himself. He should be the leader at the end of this cycle, but for how long will that be the case? Dennis Faircloth, you can see he is not too far back. And meanwhile, Reggie Ortega slow. Here comes AJ Stravato trying to swing it underneath him. Both of them really pushing the issue. AJ locks it up, nearly goes around. It will be side by side. This is not going to work for Reggie, who well, actually, they're both pretty far back on pit lane. I think it should still work out. Yep, AJ pulls into his box. Also, Seth Hatchell brought it in. Ryan Gemmel inherits the top spot. He's going to have to think about coming down sooner rather than later. He's going to lose too much time to those guys that just pit, and he is going to remain on the racetrack. Maybe hoping for that yellow flag. Angelo Ronas still out there. Joshua Abbey still on the racetrack. The Hail Mary from Ryan Gemmel. Only 6 cars on the lead lap right now. And the 00 will bring it down onto pit road. Top 3 still stay out there. Here comes Jeremy Miller, going to try and take third back away. That is how far ahead he is. 3 seconds over Dennis Faircloth. And about 9 seconds in front of Zach Carr. He may have played this perfectly last time by it. Zach was only about a half second faster. Ryan Gemmel brings it in. He is just getting service done. This is going to be the killer. I think he waited too long on this. And get passed up by all of these guys. He'll cycle out outside the top 10. Here goes his teammate Seth Hatchell. Here comes Chris Samard even. Ryan Gemmel, who was in the top 5 before the cycle started, he is going to cycle out 17th right now. The last driver to pit. He has got a lot of work to do. Angelo Ronas just working off of pit lane as well, so you can see he's probably going to be passed up by Ryan. There goes Ryan Gemmel right there. He'll get by Angelo Ronas. Jeremiah Vincent all the way back here in 16th. Not a good sequence for him on pit road. He was up in the top 10 and right now in 16th. Meanwhile, Jeremy Miller has the race lead over Dennis Faircloth. Under 15 to go. The gap is 4 seconds. Dallas Sullivan in third. One of the first cars to pit. Here comes Zach Carr, who was leading when the cycle started. He has closed up about 4 seconds on Jeremy Miller and continuing to close a lot every lap. That time 1.2 seconds faster. This lap probably going to be a bit closer. Just 1 second, the difference there, but at that pace, he will get there. Dallas Sullivan really struggling right now. You can see just how much faster that car is. Dennis Faircloth pit about 6 laps earlier. That is the difference there. Is Faircloth into the wall. And now it is just mano a mano. Jeremy Miller versus Zach Carr. The gap 4.2 seconds and shrinking rapidly. That time by, it was a second again for Zach Carr. He cut out of that race lead. Next car in line would be AJ Servato. But how about Nick Starling? He is right here. Also pit a little bit earlier than many of these guys. There goes Alex Pelican. Reggie Ortega. Well, issues for Ryan Gemmel. He is still 17th. Not been able to improve. And looking like his points not going to be enough here tonight unless a miracle happens with less than 10 to go. They're battling hard up here. You never know. The 80 of Faircloth right in the thick of all of this. He is fading fast. Also, Dallas Sullivan, both of those cars pretty slow compared to everyone else on the older tires, and they're going to check up big time right here. Alex Pelican gets the bumper from Reggie Ortega. They continue on, no issue, but that was a close call. Reggie Ortega, you can see how much faster he is than the 21. Every spot is going to matter for Alex Pelican. Right now riding in fourth, they split the 39. Oh, and we've got a car going around. That is Dallas Sullivan, Seth Hatchell, and Timmy Emanuele. Caution flies. And that might shake things up big time. Nick Starling. I thought that was Nick Starling. Actually, that was Seth Hatchell. That's what I meant to say. Seth Hatchell and Dallas Sullivan getting together somehow. Let's go take a look. Involved the lap machine of Timmy Emanuele. Dallas Sullivan getting into the back of him. Let's find it here. The Dallas closing up on Dennis Faircloth. Seth Hatchell is well behind all that. You can see Timmy really slow in the tri-oval. They squeeze past him. I'm not sure Dallas knew he was there. And then Hatchell into the back. They all go around. And almost an issue there. Who was that? Zach Smith. Everybody else survives, but close call for all of those drivers involved. They all get some damage out of that. See if anybody has an extra set of tires. Jeremiah Vincent bringing it down. He may have an extra set of left side tires. Ryan Gemmel also going to bring it in. He may have an extra set. We'll have to see. Does have back bumper damage. Looks like he got run over at some point in this run. Pelican also brought it down, the 99. Jeremiah Vincent, just 2 tires on that car. Brett Sommers, just fuel only, possibly. Or maybe it was a 2-tire stop. Very short, 6.3 seconds in box. Angelo Ronis, he took 2 tires on the previous stop, so he must be all out. Ryan Gemmel, 27-second stop. Not sure if that's... like they did fix some damage, but possibly putting some tires on that as well. We'll see what he can do from 16th position. Have to have the greatest drive of his life to make it into the playoffs at this point. Jeremy Miller, Zach Carr, AJ Stravato, Reggie Ortega, Alex Pelican, the top 5. This really helped out Chris Simard, who's found his way back up towards the top 10. This race has been somewhat a race of attrition with only 22 cars on track. How about this Bradley Wilson? He's in 18th. Maybe just enough for him to skate on through. Jeremy Miller with 6-lap older tires than Zach Carr. AJ Stravato actually the freshest tires up here in the top 5. Both he and Reggie Ortega just 12 laps on the tires. We'll have to see. Drivers 14th on back all brought it down pit lane. We'll have to see if they have fresh tires or if they can start making some moves. They won't have a lot of time to do it. Should be 5 to go this time. I'm thinking we're getting the 1 to green here. And to recap, a 200-lap race, we've only had 3 cautions through the first 195 laps. That is just incredible with a 30-car field. 15 lead changes. Jeremy Miller going to be leading us to green this time with Zach Carr to his outside. Gonna get interesting. Who's gonna win this race? Will it be Zach Carr or will it be Jeremy Miller? Could Reggie Ortega or AJ Stravato get up there and win this thing? Could Nick Starling on the older tires, could he figure something out here? Put himself in the right position, clutch up and get the victory? Could it be Alex Pelican who needs the points? Got just about as fresh of tires as Zach Carr and Reggie Ortega, AJ Stravato, all of those guys. Or is it somebody farther back on those fresh tires, 2 tires, whatever they may have? Are they going to be able to drive up through? Going to get intense. Jeremy Miller on the inside lane. Going to be restarting us here. Has to get a good jump. He knows he's got the tire deficit. He was warming them up during the yellow. Looking for win number 2 this season. Nearly had it in the bag last week. He goes right away. And a good jump for the 30 car. Pulls out in front of Zach Carr. Be a car length and a half. They dive down into turn number 1. An eye back here, 2, 3 wide. The driver's on fresh tires, going to be really pushing the issue. Up at the front, though, Zach Carr is there. He's going to look down low. Jeremy Miller throws the block. The 27 of Zach Carr has to check up. Here comes Reggie Ortega. Got to be bold with just a few laps remaining. Jeremy Miller, he's lost the lead now. Zach Carr gets through. Here goes Reggie Ortega. He's going to get through. AJ Stravato next in line. Coming back to 2 laps to go. They're getting crazy farther back. Carr in the wall. We keep it green, though. 2, 3 wide, deeper in this field. How about this Reggie Ortega? Can he get it done? He's been second fiddle to Zach Carr all race long. He's got a lap fresher tires, but he's got the dirty air. Can he do it? 2 laps remaining here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. It is far from over as the top 3 pulling away. We've got 3 wide farther back. Dennis Faircloth in the middle with Garrett Wolfenbarger and Jeremiah Vincent flying around the outside. He's got those fresh tires and really making good use. At least 2 fresh tires. And at the front, Zach Carr, good drive out of 4. It'll be 2 car lengths. White flag in the air. The 27 looking for his 5th win of the season. What a way to enter the playoffs if he can do that. We've got cars 2, 3 wide scattering farther back. And Zach Carr pulling away down the backstretch. Reggie Ortega, don't think he'll be close enough. Jeremy Miller throwing a block on Seth Hatchell. Angelo Ronas diving in there. Here comes Jeremiah Vincent. But at the front, Zach Carr is going to do it. He is going to win at Charlotte. 5-time winner this season. He'll close out the regular season with a victory. And look at that. Getting it done on the short run. Mr. Zach Carr, 5-time winner this season, leads the series. Kept it straight farther back. Jeremiah Vincent made it to 7th. Chris Samard ends up 10th. It will be very, very close, but I believe both Ryan Gemmel and Alex Pelican eliminated late in this race. Zach Carr leads 156 out of the 200 laps. Incredible job there by the driver of the number 27. As he will burn it down here on the front stretch. We will cut to commercial break. Be right back with the top 3 drivers. Back at the racetrack now. Going to be pulling in our race winner here tonight. Zach Carr, Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy. Oh man, dominating performance here tonight. Your 5th win of the season. You had to fight off a few guys there at the end, just like you did at the end of stage number 1. But man, you were out front so much tonight. How important was that in getting the win here?
Race.
Yeah, definitely an exciting race. All kinds of things happen with the pit timing and strategy. You get your 5th victory of the season. We've got the All-Star race next week at Bristol Dirt, and then we start off the playoffs at Nashville Super Speedway. How do you feel about those couple events?
Well, for the All-Star race, it's just a nice little fun event. Nice to have a little break before we get all serious. So, I have never ran there yet, so I'm gonna be in for some learning with my teammates. Hopefully, they can teach me something there. And then as for Nashville Super Speedway, the practice race before the season started, I dominated that one, and honestly, I enjoy running that track. So hopefully, we'll have a pretty similar performance there as we did tonight.
Yeah, definitely dominating. You lead 156 out of 200 laps here, the longest race of the season, and you were out front for over 75% of it. So very, very impressive drive for your 5th victory, and gonna give yourself a nice boost going into the playoffs. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
You guys for broadcasting, league owners for putting this on. Obviously, the sponsors, that really helps this league out a lot. And of course, my teammates. Like I said, we worked really well together tonight. Jeremy, Angelo, Reggie, AJ, we all really worked really well together tonight. I was actually kind of scared at the end there. I thought Jeremy was going to get me with his pit strategy, but the caution came up. But yeah, just shout out to everyone.
Awesome, Zach. Well, congrats again. 5 victories this season on a tear here in the Below the Double Yellow Cup Series. Go celebrate, and we'll catch you at the All-Star race.
Sounds good, Adam.
Zach Carr, race winner 5 times this season. Happy man right there. Go to second place finisher Reggie Ortega, who's been on the podium now 2 times in a row. Reggie, Adam of the V-Speed booth, you got a copy.
Yes, sir.
Well, Reggie, it took a while for you to break through for your first podium of the season, but you followed up with an even better finish here tonight in second, and you were challenging Zach all throughout that last stage. And, man, just describe your night.
Man, I was really trying to put a statement out there just with how good I should have been throughout the season. But yeah, the win definitely hurts, to not get it. But just being teammates with Zach, I was just really trying to stay behind him and trying to save my stuff just in case, like caution or just for the long run. So yeah, that was just planning on staying behind him the whole time until we got to the very end there. That's when I was trying to really reel him in and get a pass and take the win. But yeah, getting behind a car. It was really, really, really extremely tight.
Yeah, we saw that.
Just gonna get done.
Yeah, we saw that be the case for a lot of drivers all throughout the field. And farther back you get, the harder it is to turn these cars. But and you gave a real challenge to him, though. I mean, throughout that whole last little bit of the race, you guys were right there on top of each other, and definitely a strong performance here tonight from you. Follow up last week's race. We do head to the All-Star race next week, which will be the Bristol Dirt race, and then we kick off the playoffs the week after that in Nashville. How do you feel about those 2 races?
I haven't done Bristol Dirt, so I'm gonna have to get some pretty good practice on that. But it's definitely gonna be a lot of fun. I like dirt racing, and yeah, it's gonna be challenging for sure. Nashville, oh man, I love that track. It's gonna be a fun one for sure. Really excited for that one, especially it beginning the start of the playoffs, and hopefully I can get myself locked in for the next round. And yeah, man, the one that's gonna probably kill me in that first round is Sonoma. I'm not a good road racer, but I'll do everything I can.
Yeah, and that's a tricky track for sure. That's not one I'm particularly good at either. But you've really shown some strength here in the last bit of the season. This finish actually would put you 3rd in points to close out the regular season. So definitely had the consistency, had the finishes week in and week out, and good to close it out with a couple podiums. But anybody want to give a shout out to for tonight's finish?
Definitely my teammates, man. Like I said, they've been a lot of help, and especially like with this tonight. And they're definitely a good group of guys. Definitely got to give a shout out to you, man, for broadcasting the league and all that, and definitely the league admins. They definitely done a really good job. So, heck yeah.
Yeah, it was an awesome race tonight. Good to see you guys run green for most of it, and great performance again, Reggie. We'll catch you next week.
Thanks, man. See you later.
All right. 3rd place now, that is going to be AJ Stravato to the booth here. AJ, Adam in the V-Speed booth, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, AJ, you were up there challenging after not the best start to the race. You were back there in 16th, but man, you drove up into the top 10 like it was nothing, and you were there to stay. Really, really great battle between you and Reggie and Zach all throughout the last half of the race. What was it going to take here tonight, and how do you feel about the podium finish?
Considering I got off work, so I literally got home just in time for the race. So qualifying laps were literally my first laps. So I guess that's why the poor qualifying effort. But yeah, it was just managing traffic and just really saving the right front and just kind of biding our time. A couple people had misfortune, so that definitely helped us a little bit. I know Alec and a couple other guys did. So just worked through traffic and bided our time. And by the end of it, it was bunch of teammates racing for the win. So that was a lot of fun of kind of working with each other, but at the very end against each other. But there wasn't really much we could do besides that restart at the beginning right there. I got a terrible restart, so I couldn't do anything behind Jeremy or really get a run on Zach. Reggie had the top, so just settled in, and just as long as we didn't wreck, we had a 1, 2, 3, like 5, 6, 7 kind of team finish. So that was awesome. Good for my teammates. I'm really happy for Zach, even though I'm racing him for the regular season championship. That was awesome for him to get a good finish and cap off a win. Hopefully we can continue that momentum up here.
Yeah, you were the only one in striking distance who was going to be able to beat him in the championship coming into this race, and he does seal it up. But second place with 2 wins this season, nothing to shake your head at. Definitely a great performance and another podium tonight. We do head to the All-Star race at Bristol Dirt Track, and after that we kick off the playoffs with Nashville Super Speedway. How do you feel about both of those races?
I've not turned one lap at the Bristol Dirt. I'm not even gonna lie, I didn't do it turn many laps on it before because of just how not on edge, but it was just changing all the time with iRacing. So I haven't turned a lap yet, so that'll be interesting, and learning that. I'm looking forward to that for sure. And Nashville is one of my favorite tracks. Hopefully have a little bit of a looser setup than we did tonight, so we can kind of take advantage of the little bumpy surface it has over there. That track has a lot of character, so hopefully we can get a good run there and start off the playoffs strong.
Yeah, you'll at least have 750 horsepower in both of those races, so that'll
bless.
hopefully loosen it up a little bit. But no experience at Bristol Dirt seems to be the consensus here, so it should be exciting. But man, great finish here tonight. You did lead a couple laps after starting 16th. You end up 3rd. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Just my teammates. We had a hell of a run. You, obviously, Adam and V-Speed, for all that you guys do. All the league admins below the double yellow and their podcast. Check them out. And all the league admins and sponsors that make this happen. This is a lot of fun to race on Monday and Tuesdays, and I enjoy it to start off my week, and a lot of good competition. So hopefully we can keep on having fun and get some good finishes and bring home more money.
Yes, sir. Great job here tonight. We'll catch you next week at the All-Star race.
Yes, sir. Looking forward to it.
All right. AJ Stravato, 3rd place finisher here tonight, but let's not forget Zach Carr, race winner here at Charlotte Motor Speedway, the below the double yellow Marathon 300. He takes his 5th win, outlasting the competition. On his way to the regular season championship, he will head into the playoffs with the big advantage, all those playoff points, the 5 wins plus that regular season championship. Starting to look like Kyle Larson out here in terms of where he'll be with those playoff points. So let's go to the rest of the results here tonight. They are still sorting out the points, so we should be able to get you the final results there. But tonight's finishers, just 3 cautions, 16 lead changes to settle things out here over 200 laps. Zach Carr holds on for the race win. Reggie Ortega gets another podium finish. AJ Stravato finishes 3rd. Alex Pelican with a very strong 4th place finish. Not going to be quite enough for him to advance. He will miss by 2 points behind Bradley Wilson. Those late retirements from a couple drivers and him sticking with it, able to hang on into the playoffs. Angelo Ronas finishes in 5th. He will advance into the playoffs as well. Very good run for him. Jeremy Miller, he'll be in the playoffs. Jeremiah Vincent finishes 7th. He will advance with that finish just by the skin of his teeth. 8 points to the cut line there. Seth Hatchell, race winner, he'll advance 8th. Nick Starling, very strong race tonight. He'll finish 9th. Chris Simard will also advance into the playoffs. It looks like he has 3 points over the cutoff. Very, very close for Chris. Ryan Gemmel right there behind him in 11th place is just going to miss out as well. He'll miss by 12 points. He missed a race a couple weeks ago, which put him down in close proximity to that cut line and cannot capitalize here tonight. Zach Smith finishes 12th, Garrett Wolfenbarger 13th, Dennis Faircloth 14th, Anthony Pelican, last week's winner, he'll finish 15th tonight, Dallas Sullivan 16th, Brett Somers 17th, Bradley Wilson going to be able to advance. He survives by 2 points over the cut line, able to finish this thing out strong. 18th position, Joshua Abbey finishes 19th, and rounding out the top 20 is Brandon Pearl. 21st, Cody Adkins. 22nd, Timmy Emanuele. 23rd, Alan Dice. 24th, Eric Lambert. 25th, Dennis Steele. 26th, Keith Mayato. 27th, Michael Newman. 28th, Alec Martinez. 29th, Robert Gilmore. 30th, did not start the race tonight, was Josiah Vincent. 31st, Nick Gardner did not start the race either. So that is going to complete our results here tonight. I want to thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be back next week with the Below the Double Yellow Cup Series All-Star race at the Bristol Dirt Track on Tuesday. So you won't want to miss that. Should be a good time. Drivers just having fun. No points on the line. Just a little bit of cash for the race winner, but mostly a fun night. So you won't want to miss that one. So much for tuning in. Want to thank all the sponsors of the series for helping put this on. We will catch you all next time.